Sure. I'm gonna keep this short, and I'm gonna share my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. This is awesome. All right, so let me just start here. I'm just gonna go over like what I did of making like what I've been working on. So also, okay, that was great, by the way, and that totally ties into what I've been working on. So I made some updates to the LinkedIn because LinkedIn is really like kind of just popping off right now. It's not just Web3 potential clients, but it's also like potentially Web2 clients. So when I first started this, there was like about 365 followers on LinkedIn. I think now there's about like two more. It's like 367 versus the 9,000 plus on X that the guild has. So I kind of like came up with like a 90-day like plan for how we can just kind of boost that and have the same exposure that Twitter or X has as well on LinkedIn. I think it's great for inbound leads, everything. So I'm gonna go back and forth between like my presentation and what I actually did. When I first started, it was pretty bare bones. So I just wanted to incorporate the AI aspect into everything and have it be more so, I guess you could say, like reposition the guild as like a consulting partner that leads with the AI and the Web3, not just a crypto native DAO that kind of confuses enterprise like clients. So I updated the tagline to say all of these things. And then I updated the overview. I'm not going to read it all out, but basically just bringing front and center. Some of this might not be as accurate, and I'm totally open, like, and willing to change anything. I just kind of did the best I could. If I get more information on the guild and like what projects they've been working on, and I can share that, but I'll get to that. I'm getting ahead of myself right now. So I just updated the overview of the about section of what the guild does, what it has been doing, some of the projects, and what they currently offer. And then the website, the specialties, I kind of like, it was very limiting for the specialties, which kind of sucked. And they made you like kind of only fit certain things. Like it's like a checkbox. So that was a little frustrating. Let me jump back over here. I think I just went over this. I made sure it was also brand focused, and what I had in mind as I made the updates was for it to be an acquisition funnel. When I was working on the X402 facilitator, I updated my LinkedIn and I added that on there. I had some people reach out, and I also recently, Elko, which you mentioned about just current news, I think is also really relevant because I recently posted an article or a blog post on LinkedIn about what was happening with Anthropic and tied it to my specific narrative. And I got like people who were supporting this post who didn't necessarily follow me, but who were actually like thought leaders in the industry. So that was really cool. And it got a lot of exposure. But also what I've noticed, because I also have been updated LinkedIn for Hey Ditto with Future Trees. And when you tag other members or other people, it kind of like allows for even more exposure. So that was a suggestion I also had. I'm totally getting ahead of myself right now. I think I went through all of this already. I also updated the keywords. And again, I'm totally up to suggestions about like what would be better for keywords, because the keywords are really, really important. Especially like I said, the most recent post I posted on my personal, it was the keywords that kind of got the visibility. So I think just having those keywords is really necessary. Something else I wanted to share is the services page. So they have services and products, which I think is really, really cool. So I also, I'm getting ahead of myself again. I had tested this out with my real estate consulting, and I felt this was a really good thing for RaidGuild to also try out because it actually had, like, if you set it up right, they have a subscription like model that allows people to find you directly, or like potential clients to directly find you. So I set this up. I also included the cohort. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to create like a separate service that has like more information, but it's kind of limited on the plan that we have right now. So I wasn't able to like really do all of that, but I did mention like the 4-week like builder program. And then something else that came up, I was trying to add like for services provided, and I added like corporate training, and I was like, what do I put the cohort under? But I just ended up removing it. So, and then there's like this request services. It's not like a clear call to action. Again, it's like it's really limiting on the plan that we currently have, which is the free plan. But I feel like where we're at right now, as we make updates, it's still good. And the services section, I also feel is really good. And again, if anyone has any suggestions for how to update this better, or, you know, like the services that are offered, you can totally do that. LinkedIn also has a product section. So I added smart invoice, but I didn't like fully complete the smart invoice section simply because I didn't have enough information on it, and you have to go through and send it to LinkedIn and they have to approve it. So before I did that, I wanted to just make sure that I had everything correct. I know that RaidGuild also has products in addition to services. So I think just hitting on like the services and getting like to the point where, like, you know, we do get like that premium subscription, like we can sign up for it for free. It'll get a lot more exposure, but also it's kind of almost like paying for inbound leads as well. Let's see. So since I started working on it, I have seen this like increase. And I'm going to suggest like any members, if you guys can just go and, you know, add RaidGuild, like if you're a part of the guild, that would be really beneficial. Even cohort members. For me, I added it as like I added it as an apprenticeship. So that's how I actually got the visibility that I got, was through adding RaidGuild as for the cohort that I did. And people were reaching out to me regarding X402 and the guilds. Let's see. I wanted to get to the product section. Okay. Products. So this is another part. So I created this like smart invoice again. I think just adding all the products that we have, I think that'll be really beneficial, and it'll just give like a lot more exposure, not just to the products that we currently have, but also to the guild itself and the services that are offered. When I was completing it, I didn't have like product videos or screenshots. Same thing with the services, but that's like a section that we can upload work samples, and we can also upload media. And I also feel that that helps. That was something I also did, was I uploaded, I ended up connecting my LinkedIn, but I uploaded the X402 facilitator, and it just really helps. So I just can't suggest enough just getting that media and those samples in. I'm going to jump back to this. So right now, this is everything I uploaded. And I don't know if we spoke about this, but Payne and I were talking last night, and he came up with like CAS, like CAS product, basically cohort as a service, or like CAS service. I thought that was like really cool. And then still to do is like just adding like the other products and like getting confirmation on the smart invoice review, the LinkedIn as well. Sorry. And getting the work samples in a media up. And then I just created like different phases for what we can do. That's kind of left to do, which is just cleaning up like some of the services. And I think I just need more member input. And then having like, you know, a couple of the members just associate their accounts with LinkedIn as well. Maybe even tying it to the X account and trying to get some people from X to go on and follow the guild, I think would also help. So these are kind of like the phases I have. I think the next step, once we have everything completely updated, then just posting. And I think, okay, what you created, that is like really, really good and kind of golden, because I was saying that more so like posting at least 3 times a week, because showing a presence on LinkedIn is really important. So I don't know if I would agree with only once a month. I think you're going to need to post like more than that. But what I was thinking is that LinkedIn, like RaidGuild already has a ton of like material. So we could take one blog and turn it into like multiple posts. You know, I don't think it's going to be like too hard of like a task to do it. There's already a lot of content that RaidGuild has that could easily be turned into something that could be posted on LinkedIn. For example, I was even thinking about, you know, East Denver and like the event that happened and talking about that and what they're doing, like what you guys are doing in the community, all of that stuff, just sharing that. I think that just all gives more credibility. And then I came up with like 90-day targets. And I felt these were realistic. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought these were realistic. With my one post that I posted, I got like I want to say like over 150, like maybe more, just from one post. So I feel like for weekly impressions, like after 30 days, RaidGuild has like so much more like visibility than I do. So if I was able to do that, I feel like that should be pretty easy for the guild to do. And then just like the engagement rate, like having someone like also interact with other people or like other entities or the possible clients on LinkedIn is really good. Like leaving comments and just like that kind of stuff. Once we get the premium, and again, we can try it out for free. I don't think we should get it like as yet until the whole profile is like, you know, where we can all say, hey, this is good and everything is accurate. But then it just opens up like premium features. Like we get like an actual call to action, like button and all of that. But I feel that I get like inbounds quite frequently. So I'm no longer on there like as like having a service. So I don't imagine that, you know, like 5+ a month would be unrealistic for like the guild, or like 3 a month is unrealistic. And then just having the members associate with the guild on LinkedIn and just interact and then tagging them in the posts that are due.
Okay.
That's it.
No, that's great. So I thought, yeah, I think these changes are looking awesome, and it's nice to have kind of a public strategy being defined around this. On the Web3 stuff, I know it's like our main thing. It has been, but there is a bit of a shift happening with AI. I'd almost say we want to highlight it more, which may require us to like create some more products and services around that. The cohort as a service thing, that's actually how we refer to it internally as CAAS. So that maybe validates that idea.
I was thinking, Deegan, because when I was like, okay, so I added like AI products on there because I was thinking of the product that you shared as well. So I was like, okay, that's kind of something, if we're able to already build this out for ourselves, that should be something like an offering that we can offer potential clients as well.
Yeah, I think both. I mean, although none of them are shipped or ready, but it's kind of the AI product world. But both the cohort portal and the Prism, could fit into that category. I think there's other products we could do from the Web3 world too, like DAO House. There's a discussion of us taking it over. It was built by RaidGuild members, but just started at the same time, and that would boost up the numbers, at least with the DAO House. Twitter has 20K plus followers and has done 400 million in value transfer or something like that. So there are some other things we can do to boost it up, at least on the facade. So, and then the monthly fee is what, $70 or $100?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like $77. But like I wouldn't say that we should get that right now, to be honest. I think we should just clean it up, like what you just mentioned about DAO House, adding like, you know, because there's so much that I personally, I know I don't even know everything that RaidGuild has, but there's just so much that you guys have done and worked on, and like just getting, like, if I can be provided that information, I can update it, but just getting that like updated and added, I think would be probably the first step, just so that, you know, like we can hit the ground running. And we do get like a 1 month for $0, but I think we should get it to that point where we're like, hey, this is now accurate, and like this fits our branding, and this is exactly, you know, where the direction that we're trying to go.
Well, this would, I mean, it would be a test. The 1 month thing is kind of nice. It's a forcing function, actually, to make us do something. And then I think we'd want to be like, okay, well, 3 months, you know, is going to end up costing us over $200. So it's, you know, but if it leads to one client or one, even a couple leads, then that is easily worth it. But it is LinkedIn too, which I've always been kind of anti, but it seems like we gotta do that some more to stay on top of stuff. I don't know. What anyone else have any thoughts?
I was just gonna also say, it's something that you can't really be necessarily passive with. You have to be pretty active on it. You know, you have to post pretty regularly. You can't, I wouldn't say once a month, like, yeah, maybe once a month, just to like stay on the top of everyone's head, but you got to kind of interact on LinkedIn and do a lot of the stuff for it to really like work.
Yeah. And Rory 30 says it's a corporate rat trap. I think that's true. But one of the things is, you know, what we're doing isn't working so well. So X has a certain kind of community, especially the crypto Twitter community is like very small niche group, and they're pretty entrenched in their own things now. So we just need to expand our addressable market in whatever way we can. And if LinkedIn is the game that the rest of the world plays, then we should play it. Okay. Cool. Well, what time do we got?
Just also like a quicker, like, you know, hey guys, please go and follow and or associate with the RaidGuild LinkedIn. You did drop a link for it.
I just joined LinkedIn too, so you can check out my AI generated slop if you want. But I am kind of using that seeded bucket idea for the stuff I'm pumping out. Okay. Did anyone else want to do a demo? Otherwise, I'll show a quick pinata demo. I think we'll probably get a more formal one from the team at some point as a brown bag, but we do